Hello folks, how are you today? Oh well, we're doing fantastic. Monday, July 5th. Little afternoon, we're hitting up the high life because, well, that's the kind of life we're living. Probably won't be working for another week or two because we have got a situation which you all seen that with the blue chuck and radiator. Did just new holes, so well, we found them at least, right? All that work for Ned. That's all right though. Like I said, it was a good experience. I'm not mad. It's just what it is. You know, say what you want to, don't really care. But I need to get this thing plugged right here because I need to move this truck right here, the blue truck. And I don't have any caps that I know of that'll just fit over that. Actually, I might have a cap that I can hook on there and then run a hose and then pinch it off. That's what I think I'm gonna do. If not, I'm gonna go up under here and I'm gonna grab the line and I'm gonna pinch the line, but I really don't wanna pinch the line down there. So I think that's what I'll do. But anyways, we need to get this moved at least back. So it's back here because we need to put the green truck right there because we actually do have radiators that we can put in that truck and we know that the problem is. So we need to quit fumbling around on that. The quicker I can do this, the quicker I can get this truck back on the road and start working it again, because that's what I need to do. So that's probably what's going on. That's what's going to happen. I need to move that truck so I can move this and start working on it, because like I said, that project has got to come to a halt right now until I can figure out where I can get another radiator for that and how long it's going to take. So that could be sitting for a while, unfortunately. So this truck needs to work. What a hot ass fucking mess. That's all I got to say. That is all I got to say. But yeah, it'll be nice to get in this thing again, man, and run it, because, well, it's windy. Sorry about that if you get a... But yeah, it's windy, so I'm really not going to be doing too much of anything until the wind dies down, because, yeah, there's no way I'm jacking this cab all the way 90 degrees with it windy. So I have a damper of situations going on this week. I may be, like I said, down for a couple weeks, so it's what it is. But it's past the first of the month, so all the bills are paid. So it's what it is. And I got jewelry duty tomorrow. I'm gonna probably go in as trashy as possible to try to get out of it, because tomorrow's supposed to be like the only nice day this week. When it wasn't forecasted to rain, but it might be now, so I guess we'll see. But man, it's tough in the streets, man. And that's what's happening.
On the show, on the Chad Tegan YouTube channel show.
Both trucks running, okay? I pretty much did exactly what I said I was going to do. I found a fitting, took a hose, put it in there, bada bling, bada blow. Now the only problem is we don't have anything to set on in here. So, you know, sometimes you got improvise, baby, you got to use those improvisions, okay? That's what we're going to do. We got the green truck sitting right up here because when we get done, we want our trucks at the same spot here. All right, we want this truck right where this truck is, because I like that much of a distance. If I got the cab tilted forward, I should still be able to get the wagon out of the garage. Or once I actually get to doing this, I'll pull the wagon out, it'll sit out the yard, and or I'll have all that room in the garage to work. So that's my plans. So I basically lined it up right here because we moved it real quick, no big deal. So we got this right here is what I basically use for this. Now we got a drum stool baby drum stool in there, and that's what we're going to sit on because we need to back this thing up. And yeah, super sketch, but it's what we're gonna do. We got this down because this all moved forward a little bit, and I don't exactly even know if there's a spot that I can hook you to, unless it's like right back here. But then you're gonna be like, you're gonna be right up in my pit and stuff probably when I do this. Okay, that's where you're gonna be. So let's see if we can get this clutch in real quick and get this thing to reverse. Oh yeah, that's gotta go all the way down. Because all we gotta do is back it up. That's it. Like the fan shroud and shit, it's still it is still unhooked and whatnot. So we are going backwards. Okay, roll backwards. Get her out the yard a little bit. Probably gonna have to mow that since it's been raining and stuff here. Basically, right here is good. Right here is perfect because now if I need to just jump under here and do some stuff, I can. But at least we're backing up to where I can back the grain truck up and I'll be perfectly aligned with where I want to be. If you can see that. Okay, so we'll just back it up right there. We'll have a little bit of distance to walk through. And if you look in the mirror, we still got plenty of stones. And since it's the back, it's not blocking anything. Oh, I was stepping on that and it was hissing. So let's get this off because we don't need it on anymore. And it'd be funny if somebody ever tried to come and steal this. They'd look in it and they'd be like, oh my God, what the is going on here? Yeah, that's what's going on here. So I was under here because I can get under here and I can see. Yeah. No, not on this side, but on the other side, yeah, shroud's all up on them wires and stuff for that belt because I had it off. But I can look up under here and I can see an array. I don't know if you can see or not, probably not, but I can see where it's dripping down out the top up there. So it's kind of disappointing, but I did climb under it earlier and nothing else had sprung any more leaks. So it's what it is, I guess. We'll need to drain this thing down too. And honestly, I could probably do it right here if I wanted to, because I could pull that and I could have probably went forward some more because we got a big old gap right here. But I mean, that's plenty to get in and out the driveway if you're turning or pulling in, which it don't really matter because freaking park in the yard and shit anyways. And if anything's up in here, I'll just drive out, back out, and use this as a driveway, you know, in the yard. And I haven't mowed in like probably, it's been over 2 weeks now since I mowed last because the weather's just been so dry and stuff, you know. But this thing is top notch right here, boys and girls. So, and you know, this thing is just kind of pisses me off because the last time I had drove it, I didn't see any water splattering anywhere. I didn't see nothing. But yeah, that's what it is. It's got to get changed. So it's just one of the things. I'm just like, was talking with Cabover Gary. If you guys aren't familiar with him, go check him out. It's Cabover Gary. He's got that Freightliner. He hauls stuff around on that bed he's got on the back, and then he's got some trailers that he pulls around with it too. He's down in Texas. It's Cabover Gary, and he said, how hard is that to do? I got to do mine too, blah blah blah. I'm like, it's really not that hard. It's just unhooking it. Pulling it's the hardest thing, you know. Moving it around is probably the hardest thing, but it's not too bad. So I just told him, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And he's like, well, why didn't you shoot video on it? I said, dude, I have. I just haven't posted it yet, which, you know, you've probably already seen it if you're seeing this right now. So it's what it is. But yeah, like, not throwing stuff up every day or every other day. I'm just going to take my time and I'll put a video up when I put a video up. But, you know, he says he's in about the same spot. He needs to do the shit too. So I was like, well, it's really not that bad. So good luck. Yeah, just ready to run this truck again. I'm ready to run this truck. I've been Jewed the last 2 summers, and I don't say that in a provocative or negative way. It's nothing offensive or harmful. It's not supposed to be when I say the words like that, but I haven't been able to run this thing for the last 2 summers, and I want to be able to run this thing in the summer, so we'll get this done and at least run it in July You know, there's other things I want to do, like replace these windows and stuff. I've got all the seals and crap to do it. I want to replace these because obviously this one's cracked. It's not a big deal. I've never had any problems with DOT or anything like that, but I'd just like to get it to where the seals are replaced because they had a couple leaks and stuff in there. So I've got, you know, permagum and shit up in there blocking it, and that's why I have that off right now. And that thing's been in my garage for a hot minute. I've had those seals since before I went out to Arkansas. I just haven't done anything with it yet, so it's one of them situations where I'm just like beating around and waiting to do the things which I need to do them. And we can turn this thing off because we don't need it on anymore. But because to be honest with you, we can get out. We're gonna start draining this truck down. I do have 9 jugs of old coolant I need to get rid of, so I need to figure out where I can take those and get rid of them, because I need to get rid of them. And then we'll get this drained down. You know, and that's probably going to be about it for today, is just draining this thing down and maybe taking some of the hoses off from the bottom and whatnot. The simpler things that I can do under the truck without completely jacking this thing all the way over, because until I can, like, pull the radiator, I'm not going to jack it completely all the way over and let it sit. I let that blue truck sit completely jacked all the way over for 3 or 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I put it back in. So 4 days that thing was jacked completely over. I'm not going to do that with this truck because it's supposed to be stormy, super windy, and nasty this week, and that's just not something that's going to happen with old Frank, because we don't want anything to happen to him. Plus, we got to clean some crap out in here before we start to pull anything, because we don't want this shit right here, you know, going forward on the windshield and cracking like trucker style Sean did when he was jacking his shit up when he first got his truck. So it's what it is. It's one of them things where, you know, it's go time on this truck. It's been go time on this truck. I just, you know, like I explained in the one video, I just wasn't feeling it. But I like the pressure of things, you know. I like to feel uncomfortable. I like to feel like my back's against the wall before I really do stuff. And that's kind of where I put myself in, you know, because I could have been doing things here and there, left and right, no problem, throughout the beginning of the summer and stuff. And once it started warming up, I just didn't. And I'm kind of, you know, I'm in a situation now where I have to, because I'm not going to make any money until this truck is on the road, because, well, we all know that blue truck's not going to be on the road very quick. And I've got to start calling around to even see where I can get a radiator that size for that old of a truck. And if I have to have one made, it could be the situation where I have to wait on 4 states to have one made again for a month. And if that's the case, this is the only option to make money, besides what I make off of YouTube and stuff like that. And if I want to start selling shit around here. But yeah, other than that, so it's what we got to do. We got to get this thing, we got to start working on this thing now, because unfortunately that job is done in the blue truck for the radiator pull and put back in. The job is done. It's just, it's not, still leaks, so we're SOL on it, but it's what it is. Live to truck another day. Well, I think I was just sitting there talking the whole time and didn't even have the thing on. So anyways, if I did, then it's what it is. But I'll redo this. We've got 2 brackets up here where these horns are at. I'm gonna have to get off. I don't know who puts these here. That's the dumbest spot, if you ask me, to put horns on a freaking truck. You really, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to get under here like this to have to do this, but it's what it is, I suppose. But we got this nice little turn knob up here where we're draining out the old coolant into the bucket. And you can see that that is diluted with water, because I used water and filled it up one time before I ran it over to Archibald there to have him check it out. But it's what it is, you know. We'll let her fill up, we'll dump her. This stuff's probably diluted enough that, you know, it doesn't need to be disposed of properly, but we're still going to dispose of it the right way because we need to, so it's what it is. But yeah, we're starting the process here. Should probably get the WD-40 out, because those don't look like they're going to come off very easy. Those look like they might be a pain, some of those, and let's hope none of them strip, because, well, I just hope they strip and break off and I just break them off. That would be fine, but at least need to get some on this, because this guy's got to come off here. So then we don't have to worry about taking this shit off anyways. But we got new hose and stuff for all this, so we need to swap it out, we can. Good news, folks. We got her drained down. She do nothing but a drip. Look how gross that is in there. I don't know how close you can see up in there, but there's like chunks of stuff, that copper floating in there from the stupid additives and shit that I put in. Where it's coming from, nobody knows, but yeah. So at least all that stuff's coming out, and there's some nasty brown, gooey, nasty, gross stuff. And another good thing is, lady called from the jury duty and says, don't worry about coming. Must have figured out all their shit, so I don't have to worry about going to jury duty in the morning, and I can stock up on my time of doing things around here and maybe bust some shit out tomorrow. Wouldn't that be fantastic? So basically, wife's in there cooking. She says, what time you want me to have this done? I said, don't matter, whatever time you stop. I will come in and I'll shut down and eat, you know, and then either I can be done or I can continue to move and keep doing things. But it is going to, you know, the sun's out until like 9 o'clock tonight at night, so I can just continue to work and, you know, get her done if I need to. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I told her. I said, dude, if I gotta jack this thing up and start pulling shit off, I will. I got spotlights and stuff I need, you know. Let's pull a car out, turn it on, and run the headlights on brights, pull the thing out or whatever. Sooner I get it out, sooner I can tear it apart, sooner I can put a new one in, the sooner I can work that thing and make money with it. So what's going down. Just gonna dump that coolant real quick, open that up and let it drain some more. Get the old baby chotch out here real quick and undo those horns. That way I can start undoing things, and I'll probably drop that one section down because there's those full bolts. Probably clean them up because they need cleaned up, so I'll sit there, get a brush out, clean that stuff up, because I don't want to be breaking nothing like that off, because that's a welded in piece, and that's the last thing I want to have to do is take that somewhere and say, hey, weld this for me, you know. So we doing it. And that is freaking wow, 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 wow. Ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Goodness. Ooh. Yep. This shit is just rolling in. Wow, 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 wow. It's really like barely raining. Boom, the thunder work. You know, he's gonna be barking for a while. hopefully it don't get too crazy. Friends in Fort Wayne, talking with them, and it was coming down. One gal's lost power. One kid was getting ravaged trying to get some gas in the rain. It was a complete madness. Welcome to the show. Woo! Oh yeah, wind's picking up. Earlier there was no wind. Oh yeah, it's picking up big time. Here it comes. This and that, just coming through the trees. I gotta pull these down. I don't want this to happen again like the last time. Yeah, listen to that. I'm sure you can hear it. Just dropped to probably maybe 5 degrees with that wind, which is nice. I guess we'll see what happens. Cool little light show. I'm sure it'll last for a while, but yeah. Rain hasn't picked up anymore. Oh, hopefully we don't lose power because it's hot AF in the house. Well, this looks like some low hangers there. Here it comes. Oh, we'll see. Well, we've done lost power again, and we got none. Nothing but some freaking candles. No. A laser light show. In the show. It's only supposed to get worse. Don't look like anybody's got any power down the road. Nowhere, nowhere. Nobody, nowhere. I know the neighbors don't. They already text the wife, so. Bam, 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 bam. Isn't that look cool? The Frankenstein truck. I guess if I need to, I'll throw my phones in one of these vehicles and charge it. You know what I mean? But. Well. Look at this shit. Oh, I got her jacked up a little bit because I had to get some lube on some stuff. It's the first time that cab's been jacked up for a hot ass minute. And you know, to be honest with you, I probably should have been putting lube on that stuff for like a month before I even touched this shit, because it is so bad. It's not even funny. did exactly what I didn't want to do, and I end up snapping one of them bolts off right there, that guy right there. And that kind of sucks because that is one of them stationary bolts inside of that pan. So I'm gonna have to have that taken care of once I finally get this thing out, but that may be a problem because there's some things, this truck when I first bought it, which sometimes, you know, you always have those thoughts like, man, I shouldn't have done that, but I did anyways, and I'm making the best out of it, and I've made the best out of it. So it's paid itself off over, you know, even as much work as I put into it, it's made more than I've spent on it. So I guess I can't be too mad. I tried to build the perfect working truck and not have to worry about anything if it gets messed up or nothing, you know what I mean? But it is still a lot of time and effort and hours. So I've got, you know, it's got more rust than what I would want on a truck. Anyways, I've got to get these up here to where they'll break free. So I've got a ton of lube on them right now, and I just started spraying lube on things because I just got this jacked up. But like this guy right here, you know, he's gonna have to come off. And for some odd reason, when somebody did this shit, they put all those stupid ass lock nuts with that that rubber, you know, outside on them, so those things don't want to just come off, and that's kind of a pain in the arse. But I mean, it is what it is. So that's one major thing, and this truck is different than the other truck because look, we've got this hose right here for the intercooler, and then we got this air hose here for the turbo that we're gonna have to deal with too. Okay, so we're not just fucking pulling a radiator like we did on the other one, and that's kind of why I like didn't just jump into this thing real fast. And it's been one of them things in the back of my mind, like I should take it somewhere, or I should have someone help me. But I mean, I can do it by myself. I'm not really worried about that. It's just the whole fact of it's an Aerodyne, so it's gonna be heavier to jack all the way over. And like I said, I can't remember if I've ever jacked this thing completely all the way over or not. But there's some, you know, there's just more shit to this than that. Blue Chuck is more simple. So it's kind of one of them sketch things that, you know, I'm gonna have to do it, and I know it's got to be done, but I snap that off with a baby Chachi, and that's a shitty impact from fucking Menards. So I'm worried about that kind of shit, you know what I mean? Because there is so much rust on this stuff, like up here on this fucking pan, which when I get this stuff off, I'll clean it up and I'll paint everything and I'll do what I can to it. But like, I don't like the way that looks around there, because that shit looks like it's just sat with salt on it for years, because this truck came from Delaware, you know? And I don't think I can just, I don't think I can just get these fucking pans. And that's kind of what irritates me the most, is not being able to just get this stuff already made up with brand new stuff. Like, you can go on different websites and you can see the stuff that with the pans and all that shit already made up, ready to just throw in trucks. And it's like, man, if I could have just got one of these that was ready to go, I wouldn't care if I was snapping shit, you know, because I can replace that little air hose if I snap that off. But if I snap that bolt off inside of there where that goes, which it looks like it's got a thing that I can just hold on to and crank it, I should be fine. But you know, those are the things you worry about. And if you send it out somewhere and they snap it, they don't give a fuck about your stuff. You have to worry about them. Well, we got to send it out, and then they send it out to another place that's 3 weeks behind. You know, that's the only good thing about doing shit yourself, is your hands are on it all the time. You're the one making the, you know, if something breaks down and stuff like that. Let's get down, because, well, I've showed you everything I needed to, and I don't feel like standing here talking. We can get a better background, but we'll talk about it anyways. You know, if you you break it, at least you know what's going on. Your hands are in it. You're not depending on someone else just calling one place. You can call 5 or 10 or 15. So I'm debating, because I do got this all unhooked on there. Everything down there is unhooked. And that line that big tube is unhooked from the rubber gasket. So if I just bam it, I was beating on with that plastic rubber mallet a little bit, but I'm probably gonna have to go in here and try to stick a screwdriver and peel that apart. That guy's down, that gasket down there's all undone. So, you know, I'm just lubing things up. I don't know what's going on with the weather here. I mean, obviously you can see the different clouds and shit, and we had a whopper come through last night, which, you know, all that lightning and stuff. So it's there's no wind, but at the same time, anything could happen. Now, I don't want to jack that cab all the way over right now, knowing that that's in the sky, and something go wrong, and then I fuck up things more than what they're fucked up already, you know, or I haven't fucked shit up yet. So it's one of them debatable situations, but it's got to be done. So, you know, this weekend is supposed to be nice weather. If I could get that thing pulled and have it at least in the garage, because I know I'm gonna be freaking snapping bolts. I'll replace them. I don't care. You know, if I have to fix things, I will. I'll take shit places and get welded up or fixed or whatever. I got some buddies that can weld and stuff like that, so I'm not really too worried about that. And just throwing a screw in a pan and welding it shouldn't be a big deal. But I don't know, I guess that's kind of why I've been debating and waiting and putting this off for as long as I have, but it's time to do it. It's just one of them things, man. It is just one of them things. It really rides really nice going down the road, though. Really enjoyed the ride the other day. So wife says once you get that truck going back, I can start riding with you again. Absolutely. Figure it out. Absolutely. So that's, you know, do I jack it all the way over right now or not is the debatable situation. Only time will tell, I guess. Hopefully this doesn't get a bunch of shit on you, but surprisingly, I just wanted to see if there was any resistance on this bolt, since it's got that rubber washer, you know what I mean? It's one of them sweet lock ones. I just wanted to see if there was any resistance and stuff on it, so I cranked on it a little bit and she started to come. So I figured before it gets too warm and hot and starts having any issues, I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. And I'll deuce it real quick again with some lube, some PB Blaster, just to get a little bit of, oh shit. Probably got you some right on there, mine. But I just want to get a little bit of that on there, because I'm going to crank this off. I can get it off. And I almost jacked this thing all the way up, because this, I just love the fact that I can sit around on this truck and I've got plenty of room to do things, you know, when the cab's up. Because I'm pretty, I think it's, which way am I going here? Okay, that's the way I want it. I'm pretty much sitting on this air cleaner right here, and that's nice. You know what I mean? I just got off the phone with Otto. He says, you back to work yet? And I said, no, not yet. And I told, because I hadn't talked to him since I'd put that radiator back in, you know, and he was like, you should pressure test it, blah, blah, blah. And my brother, this and that. And I'm like, no, this radiator's fine. That didn't have any leaks before. Should be okay. It was just the, you know, that whole jazz. And then I told him what would happen. He's like, man, just call up Detroit Radiator. Last time I went up there, it was years ago, though. And I'm like, well, that's the problem, but it was years ago. This thing's starting to get a little stiff, but it's still coming off okay. It's a fine thread, so there's going to be a lot of cranking, if you know what I mean. But he's like, that was years ago, but I go up there and I take it up there. They'd have everything. I said, well, I need to measure it first, make sure I give them the right measurements, you know. And he says, oh, man, I used to take it up there. They'd have the sides, everything, tanks and blah, blah. All I do is hand it to them. They'd give me the other one. I drive off. I'm like, that was years ago. That's probably not the same type of situation that's going on now. And we've got a dirty, nasty storm cloud that's just been creeping over from the north, coming down south over top of us. That's why we didn't jack her up all the way. Because I figure worst case scenario, if it gets too shitty, I just fucking pull the stuff out, drop it down, boogie on inside, and, you know, live to see another day versus, you know, what's going on. If it starts sitting under here while it gets shitty and or having it all the way jacked up, it'll go. It's just gonna be one of those clencher moments when the thing does go all the way forward. What's all gonna get too tight? Is there anything that's gonna snap? What's gonna fly forward? You know, things of that nature hasn't been done, so that I know of. That I can't remember. Maybe I did, I don't know. Shame on me for not knowing, but at least this is gonna come off. So I'm gonna at least get this off so I don't have to worry about it anymore, because I don't want to have to worry about this. I was worried about this. This is something I was worried about, but I'm not worried about it anymore because it's coming right off. Not that hard, you know. And this is nice because I'll just pull it off, shove it over to the side, or I'll wait until I get, well, I could probably shove it forward, but I got these hoses and stuff hooked up still. So what the deal is what's going to happen. I'm going to be able to just pull this thing. I'm not going to have to worry about unhooking a bunch of shit besides the hoses and little things. I just want to get everything undone right now. And for some odd reason, if the weather doesn't get shitty, I may just pull it. I got those 2 big bolts under, and then I got all these hoses and stuff to unhook, which I can unhook a couple of these and be good. You know, I'm not going to unhook this whole turbo situation. I'll just unhook to where I need to, and I'll pull the tube. But there's going to, once I get it out, then I'll, you know, unhook the rest of the shit, because it's one of them situations that need to be done. And not doing this, it's not like I have a book to read that says, you know, unhook it here, hook it back up here, like I do the Bout truck. It's the same concept. It's all nuts and bolts, and anybody can honestly do this. It's just the motivation and getting the motivation to do it. I heard this thing, and I don't know if I've talked about this or not before, but it's Steve Harvey's voice while I'm flipping through the old Instagram, you know, watching the reels and stuff. I hear him talk about getting uncomfortable, and you know, you get comfortable and you don't do things. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to put some pressure on yourself. And like I said the other day, my back's against the wall, so we don't. And I heard that again, and I was sitting in the kitchen, you know, talking to Kim before I started coming out and doing stuff, and I said, this is exactly what gave me the kick in the ass that I needed. Oh, she's cranking off by hand now. Ooh, nice and warm. That is what's up. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I got both our fucking hands dirty. Probably shouldn't be touching you. That's all right. We'll just put it on our Iron Maiden shirt we got married in. So yeah, this thing will come forward. Yeah, there we go. She's moving. She's moving some. I just need to get this other stuff unhooked here. Start hooking some of these hoses and lines, and that fucking sucks. But at least that's off. Have to, hopefully that's on the ground somewhere in a bucket maybe. I don't know, but we're at least to that. We got that, so that's a good thing. Well, would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Just look at it. We got everything but one bolt pulled on this thing. I get the one bolt on the passenger side at the bottom of that radiator undone. We're good to go. It started raining, so I just pulled the plug. Figured, I mean, it's not bad. I could have worked in it and just kept going with it, but I don't know what's exactly going to happen, because who who knows if the system's going to come through, and the weather radar map's not showing shit. So I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean, that gets caught up in a storm when I don't really need to. This guy right here has to come off, this tube right here. This tube's got to come off. Boom. So I can get this bolt right here, because that's where the bolt is right there. Boom. I know you can't see it, but it's what it is. That's where it is, where I'm pointing. I'm telling you. We get that bolt. Everything else is ready to go, because I unhooked the air. You hooked the air tubes. I don't know. Unhooked everything. Everything's undone except for that one bolt. Everything, even those hoses, and that thing's unhooked. But those, where those 4 bolts go in, that's kind of like rusted and rotted and stuck in there, and that's all cast. So I don't really want to tear it up too much. So I've got to be gentle with it. But I need to get that other one done, then I can get it undone. Maybe get a little force on it, give some wobble, and get her broke free. We got to get her broke free. Then once we do that, boom, we can pull that. So probably tomorrow morning, I'll probably be pulling that all by myself, because she ain't going to be home. So I'm going to end up having to charge you up, as much battery as I can on you, because you're on a GoPro right now. And then I'll set you on the side, and I'll maybe time lapse the stuff, because I did not do that the last time. And I'm sure you wanted to see it. Then I need to get that thing in the garage, because I need as many days as possible probably with that thing in the garage. I'm probably going to have to get all new hardware, because I used all the other hardware that came with the kit. It was supposed to go in a green truck on a blue truck. So I'm going to have to go get new hardware for that, which is not a big deal. Just needs to get done. How many bolts I'm going to snap off there, I don't know. That one has metal strips. It's not the aluminum strips like the blue truck, so that's completely different setup. It's got the aluminum strips, even though I talked to Otto last week, and he says, I bet I got some of those hanging around, because I keep everything and save everything. I'm right on, dude. But if we need to make them like we did the last ones, we can. We know that's possible, so. But I guarantee I'll be snapping some bolts off that shit. But I need to get like lube in time, and that has to set up. And to be honest with you, it'd really be nice if it was tonight, to where I could have it in the garage and I could have that stuff just hosed down. But it's what it is. It's a timely process. It's not something that happens overnight. You just can't change one of those out in a day. If you can, then you're the man, and I'm not. But one bolt. So tomorrow when we come back, we got to get that one bolt off. We got to get that thing, that tubulator broke free. We got to get that bolt off. We'll jack her all the way over, and we're pulling it. So, well, folks, today's the day. We got to get this thing all the way forward, try to get this radiator on. Got basically everything unhooked except for one bolt down there. First time, like I said, I've ever taken this all the way, and I'm going to do it now, because I need to get up in there and under there and do some things. So we will see what's going to happen. Hopefully nothing bad, but at least it's on camera if it does. This thing's got a drift, so I'm kind of, concerned about that too. From that happening, but it's what it is, I guess. Just need to make sure that I have all of the pressure that I need to when I go to, jack it back up. I don't want to have to sit there and put fluid in it and stuff like that. It's jacking real easy, so hopefully I don't get all crazy on me. Start to hear things go forward and whatnot. Probably some crap that's in that side box. I have stupid triangles and shit. Goes. Woo! right, well, that's that. You got a pillow in the window, that's it. So, alrighty then. We hopefully we're good. That's how it's probably gonna stay for a while. Check my lines and shit and everything. I got some more leak going down there, so yeah. Oh shit. The throttle come undone, which is fine. Looks like all our lines are okay, nothing stretched out too much. I can see. Check mine a little bit. Alright, well, what it is. Now it's time to get to work. If you know what I mean. This thing's got to come out. I got to figure, I'm going to have to get up on here and get all this stuff off because looks like I've got a couple eyes up here that I can grab onto, and I'm going to need those, but I got to get this guy off first. There's a couple bolts down here, and then looks like some up there, which those are all rusty as fuck, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully I don't break anything, which I probably will. There's that bolt. Well, at least we found that, huh? Don't really matter, but whatever. So let's get to it.